Hello, 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 and welcome to The Difference Makers. I'm your host, Jacqueline Grant, and we are here with a very special celebrity edition of The Difference Makers. We have a guest whom I'm sure you will find some golden nuggets of her experience as a medical physician as well as an entrepreneur. Yes, you can blend the two. We have a guest today, Dr. Cheryl Bryant. She is fantastic. I met her a few weeks ago, and of course, you know by now, she is a LinkedIn connection of mine. And LinkedIn is a wonderful place to find wonderful people who can enrich your life, enrich your career, and enrich your business. So, I want to share with you a bit about our guest today, Dr. Cheryl BryantBruce, also known as Dr. Cheryl, aka the Celebrity Doc. She is recognized by Time Magazine's 100 most influential people in the world for bringing back the house call. She has been featured in CNN, NPR, Access Hollywood, and The Doctors. Town and Country Magazine and Concierge Medicine Today named her as first of the three top personal physician practices. In addition, she is also a busy physician. She's also an entrepreneur and a gifted international speaker, as well as an author. She's busy. Dr. Cheryl juggles a career in entertainment and has filmed on the sets of such epic films as Beverly Hills, Chihuahua and Angels and Demons. Dr. Bryant Bruce specializes in integrative wellness management and longevity medicine. Dr. Cheryl helps people to thrive in ultimate success and life fulfillment by helping them to reclaim those relationships that are important to them and optimize their overall health and wellness, as well as manage their time. Two presidential administrations have called upon her as an advisor, and Dr. Cheryl is truly a jack of all trades and always strives to be a master of life. Please help me to bring to the virtual stage Dr. Cheryl Bryant, also known as the Celebrity Doc.
Pleased to be here, Jackie. So excited to be here with
It
you.
is wonderful to have you here. And we have so many questions. I have so many questions that I want to ask. But the first question is always, how are you making a difference in the world with all your many skills, talents, and abilities?
I think the biggest way that I'm making a difference in the world is that I am out to revolutionize healthcare. We have a disease management model,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to turn it into a wellness management model.
Mhm.
So, my goal is to touch millions and bring to them a paradigm that will allow them to live their best life, to live their healthiest life.
That is a wonderful perspective and a huge undertaking. How did you come to take on this perspective?
Actually, it goes back a long way, back into the 90s when I was taking care of my own child who was born with severe disabilities. I had three other children. Two of them also had special needs. So I had my hands full. And when the going got tough, the tough got up and left. So I was a single parent
Oh,
with four kids
mhm.
in the middle of residency. So
Wow.
I had a very full plate, juggling a lot of balls. I needed to keep all of the children healthy, but even more importantly, I needed to keep myself healthy. Then when my youngest, he was terminally ill. He was born with a terminal illness.
I'm
When
so
he,
sorry.
thank you, he when he started to go downhill, the doctors gave me the choice, not really a choice, of closing my clinic, selling my house, going home to my mother, and waiting for my child to die. They gave him 2 months to live. At the time, we had a resource and services center for children with disabilities in the clinic. And while I could close down the clinic, I couldn't shut the door on those children. So I decided that I couldn't disrupt my other children who were giving so much to help with the littlest one that was sick. I had to close the clinic, no choice, but I didn't have to give my house up. I could maintain that stability, and I didn't have to give my children at the Gregory Center up. So I told them, look, what we're going to do is when Gregory's feeling well, I will come to you. And when he's not, you will come to me. So that's where the house call thing started. Out of that, I found out that I became a much more effective physician because all of a sudden I was meeting them where they were. I was in their homes, in their lives, finding out who they really were, what their barriers were to the things that I was telling them they needed to do
Mhm.
to improve their health. Because a lot of times people go into the doctor says do XYZ. People go out of the doctor and they don't do XYZ, not because they don't want to, but because they either don't know how to, or they don't have the resources, or their situation is just prohibitive. So by being in their realm, I was able to learn who they were and bring wellness management to them. And all of a sudden, I had this new paradigm that was effective and it was making changes. People were quitting smoking, people were losing weight, people were starting to get fit, they were managing their diabetes. And it was because I now understood what they were working with as
Mhm.
individuals. So it became very individualized. And that was the start of where I ended up.
Well, that's quite the journey, and sometimes out of our own circumstances and situations, opportunities present themselves.
Yes.
So, if we could shift forward a few years now, how did you come to become the celebrity doctor? How did you get your first celebrity client, and how did that snowball into where you are now?
Well, again, that came from the child. My little boy died in 2003. And when he passed away, I remember it was misty that night. And I remember looking up at the heavens and thanking God for the gift. And then the next thought I had was, okay, well, I guess I can settle for going back to regular medicine.
Mhm.
And then I heard myself, it just was resounding in my head. You just said settle for. This child has given you a gift, a new model in which to work. You don't have to settle for anything.
Mhm.
But I, for obvious reasons, was just broken. I
Yeah,
was grieving
yeah.
and I needed time. So I ran off to Texas to sing with a band out in Texas. Houston's number one call was the Gary Michael Doll Band. And I went out to sing and dance with the Gary Michael Doll Band and was out there for about 2 weeks when I knew that I was coming back to California and that I could not run away from the pain.
Mhm.
So because I had given up everything, shifted everything, sold stuff, the whole bit, it was going to take me a while to get back. I thought I needed to do something productive with that time. So I spent the next 2 years branding the celebrity doc without ever even seeing a patient. And at the end of that 2 year period, I packed up my entire house, wrote a press release, and moved to Beverly Hills. And then I just I started giving things away at the gift giveaways. I started showing up where at the places where I knew that the people who needed my services were going to be. I was living the caviar life on a hot dog budget. And so, it was an exciting time, especially after what I had come out of.
Mhm.
It was just a very interesting and exciting time. Things were happening very quickly. I very quickly fell in with the insets, started to talk to people, and started to do speaking engagements. I had been doing speaking engagements when my child was alive. I was on an international speaking circuit,
Mhm.
but I started doing speaking engagements talking about this process, this paradigm that I had for medicine, which worked very well for my children at the Gregory Center, who were all on Medicaid or Medi-Cal. It was very effective for them, but from a financial standpoint, not the least bit effective for me.
Mhm.
So, what I discovered was that people who had money also needed these same services, were hungry for them, and had some of the same sorts of issues. Everyone kind of thinks, well, people with money, they have it made, they don't have problems. But success breeds a lot of stress and big responsibilities. With that kind of stress,
Mhm.
people tend to internalize it, particularly at that level, because they can't show weakness.
Yeah.
So they develop a lot more pathology than even some people who don't have as many resources. So they were hungry for what I was offering, especially when it came down to they don't have time to be sick. And the medical paradigm, as I said, was a disease management paradigm. They wanted wellness and they were willing to do what it took to get there, to optimize their health, to optimize their power. I discovered over time, and actually even recently had that reinforced because I am working on a course.
Mhm.
Well, it actually starts on Tuesday, and it's on time management. I initially started out teaching the same paradigm that I am working with all of my clients. But one of the threads that I found was common to everybody was that at every different stage of their life, there were time management issues, especially nowadays. Life is rushing so quickly, it
Yeah.
is hard to get it all in,
Mhm.
still take care of yourself, and have a little fun along the way. So I kept getting the question, how do I manage my time? How do I manage my time so I can have relationships? How do I manage my time so I can be with my family? How do I manage my time so I can meet with my accountant, my tax attorney? How do I just manage my time? So
Mhm.
that is one of the things that I'm really focused on now, helping people to manage their time so that they can live a healthy, fulfilled life.
That is obviously definitely needed, and especially for our audience here who make up corporate workers, project managers, mid and upper level, C-level individuals and professionals, entrepreneurs, of course, or those who are transitioning to entrepreneurship. We all need to manage our time more effectively, to do all the things we need to do, be all whom we can be, and have all that we can have in a way that does not weigh on us, but benefits us and benefits those around us as well.
Yes.
So, share with us what are some of maybe the triumphs that you've had with particular clients, as far as maybe a case study, not necessarily naming any names unless you'd like to, but anyone you might
Never
know.
name
Never name names, I know.
it.
So could you share maybe where they were before they met you, when they did work with you, what did you do with them, and what was their after? What was the before, during, and after?
Okay. Actually, I do have two clients that I can share with their permission. I have worked with Jimmy Coco for years. Jimmy Coco is the spray tanner to the stars.
Okay.
So when I first met Jimmy, he was just really getting started. He had designed this new tanning method that was very healthy for the clients, kept them out of the tanning beds, which were a big deal at that time. But Jimmy wasn't making very much money. He, like so many entrepreneurs, had a lot of haters, a lot of people just really throwing shade at him. And he was having some issues with depression, anxiety, and such.
Mhm.
And I started working with Jimmy, a lot of counseling. We started working on his health, his diet. He was a nice, young, fit gentleman, but still had work to do to really optimize his health so that he was feeling well. So fast forward a few years, and Jimmy's thriving. He's on Home Shopping Network, so on and so forth. Fast forward to today, he has a major deal. He is in the process of transitioning to London to work out of one of the big houses. So he's now a big name. One of the gifts they gave him just for showing up was a Porsche. So I was like, I want one. I want mine.
Nice little token. Yeah.
Just a little token. I have a client that is on the other end of the spectrum, not so much
Mhm.
in the celebrity world. At the time that she came to me, she was a broken woman. And she came from all the way across the country. I believe she was in Wisconsin. It was somewhere in the Midwest, somewhere. May have been Ohio. But she came to me because she had heard about me. And she said, I am here to save my own life. I looked at her and I was like, this is a tough call. And she
Mhm.
really is here to save her own life because at the rate that she was going, she wouldn't have lived another 10 years, possibly not even another 5 years. She was really in that kind of condition.
Mhm.
She was broken. Her family was dysfunctional. They had just relocated. Nobody was working. It was a disaster. And her family was fighting against her tooth and nail. And she's like, I will do whatever I have to do, even if I have to leave, because I have to save my own life. I reassured her that it was unlikely that she would have to leave, that if she started to make the changes, for every change, the system has to change. And sometimes it flies apart, but more often than not, the other individuals in the system start to change with her and they start to improve.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
was a tremendous amount of work, a whole lot of pushing, pulling, and tugging.
Yeah.
She laughs about it now because she was so resistant to everything because she was just that crumpled up and broken
Yeah. Yeah.
inside. So anything that I told her, I can't, I won't, I was like, yes, you will, push, push.
Mhm.
And over time, pushing and pushing and pushing. And all of a sudden, I didn't have to push nearly as hard. Her entire mindset changed. And she went from broken to getting her doctorate in psychology.
Wow.
She went from living on the system to working in the system.
System. Mhm.
Her husband started a new business. Her two children are now in managerial positions. The son scholarship material. The entire family just made a dramatic turnaround. Weight was a major issue for them to the point that she could barely walk from the curb to the door, and we were scrambling for chairs because I literally thought she was going to have a heart attack there in my waiting room.
Wow.
And now she's walking all over the place. She has some other health issues that are not in her control, but even working with those health issues, she's walking, she's gardening, she's living a full life. And you just can't help but be excited for people when
Mhm.
that happens.
And that is a testament to her accepting that she needed to make a change and
Yes.
finding a way to make that change, but also a testament to you, Dr. Cheryl, for helping her to make that change and sticking with her, even though she pushed back, to be able to make a difference, because you are a difference maker, to make that difference, not only in her life, but in the life of all of those around her, her friends, her family, and all whom she touches. So that's a great testament to you as well.
And all whom she touches, because she really is making quite a difference. She works with young girls who are coming from broken homes and broken systems,
Mhm.
and she's had that experience, so she can connect with that feeling of brokenness, and she really
Yes.
is making a difference for these children. giving them a healthier outlook on life, giving them great tools that they can use to cope with as young people, but even as they transition into adults, so that when they arrive in adulthood, they will be healthy and not
Mhm.
broken.
Well, speaking of transition, we're going to transition to a brief break where we're going to ask Dr. Bryant to have a one-on-one conversation with just you out there who wants to have a conversation with her. She's going to answer a question, and the question is, you took a circumstance as well as your gifts and talents and abilities that you already had and made a unique combination of those who needed health care and the entertainment industry, and you brought those two together. I'd like you to sum up in all your wisdom some advice to the person out there in our audience who is watching, who has an idea, a gift, a talent, an ability, where they have an idea to put something unique together, but others may have said, oh, that's not going to work. You want to do that? That's ridiculous. What advice would you have to that one person, looking them right in the eye and sharing with them one on one? What would you say to that person? Stay tuned with the difference makers. We'll be right back with Dr. Cheryl, the celebrity doc, in just a moment. We are here making a difference. This is the difference makers. We are making a difference. And I hope that you see how the guests that we bring onto the show make a difference in the lives of those around them, that they touch, that they impact upon in their careers or in their businesses. If you know of a difference maker that needs to be showcased, that needs to be on this show to share their gifts and talents and abilities with the world, please let me know. Just send me a message right below this, or send it to me directly through LinkedIn, through my email that you can find on this site as well. We want to be able to showcase those who have a gift to share with the world. We are coming right back now with Dr. Cheryl, the celebrity doc, to be able to give the answer to that all important question that might inspire you to put something great together, or maybe you already have something great that you're looking to grow. We'll be right back with Dr. Cheryl, the celebrity doc. Welcome back, Dr. Cheryl. What do you have to say to that person who has an idea, a vision, a dream that may not seem viable, that might be so unique, no one's ever done it before, or not in the way that they are looking to put it together? These unique combinations and making a way out of no way, meaning you made a press release and created what you had in your heart and in your spirit. You made what you visioned a reality. What advice do you have to those who want to do the same?
Well, I think there are two things. Number one is reach for your dreams. Don't ever let them go. They're your dreams, and you have a right to have them, and you have what it takes to achieve them if you just stand tall.
Mhm.
Anticipate that there are going to be a lot of naysayers. I can't remember a point in my life when I didn't have some heavy naysayers. I had people telling me that I would never become a doctor. I had people telling me I wasn't going to make it in entertainment. I didn't fit the mold. It's quite interesting because my niece is now one of the big models in New York. She's working for Elite, she's working for Ford. And that is it was kind of one of those things where I was like, okay, there you go. Because
Mhm.
back in 86, I had the opportunity to interview for Ford because I knew the copper tone tan girl. If you remember the
Yeah.
copper tone tan girl, yes, I knew her. And she said, hey, why don't you come on out? I'll introduce you to my people at Ford. And I was told that I could model in their petite division as long as I was willing to get my nose fixed because I was too ethnic looking. It's like, this is what I was born with. This
Mhm.
is what I'm going to die with. My mama gave me this nose and I'm taking it with me the whole ride. And I was told, well, you'll never make it in the entertainment industry this way.
But
You'll,
times they are a changing. So why
times
not
they
now
are
a good
changing.
time to go for what you really want?
Absolutely. And I went for what I really wanted even back then and I actually got to do a lot of work in the entertainment industry, but I did it my way. I didn't compromise anything. And that is one of the things that I want to say to you. If you're reaching for your dreams, don't compromise yourself.
Mhm.
Don't compromise yourself. You deserve to have that dream, and it doesn't matter what anybody else says, doesn't matter how they say that you can't. If it's what you really want in your heart, you will find a way.
You will
You will.
achieve it. You will achieve it if you just put yourself around like-minded people who are also going after what they want.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to put yourself amidst the people who are doing what you want to do, who are
Mhm.
being what you want to be, because there are going to be a lot of people around you who are going to pull on you in all kinds of different ways. And they're going to tell you you're uppity or whatever it is that they're going to tell you to keep you from achieving because they're not committed to doing that for
Themselves.
themselves. And as
Mhm.
long as you're not doing it, they don't feel bad. But when you escape the snares and all of a sudden you're a shooting star, well, then they're accountable for their choice of lack because it is a choice. So have your dreams and choose to pursue them. When I was younger, I had a motto, and that motto was you can never set your goals too high. So I'm striving for perfection. Now, we all know that we won't ever achieve perfection, and that's okay. That's just fine. As long as I'm reaching, I know that even if I fall, I'm going to fall to a higher
Higher level.
place. So
Absolutely.
always reach, always reach. And as long as you're reaching, you're growing. And when you stop growing, you're dead.
Yeah. Pearls of wisdom. Pearls of wisdom. Thank you so very much. How can those who are interested in learning more or possibly working with you, how can they learn more from you?
Okay, I just put my email in the chat and it's right here up under my name as well. Level up at thecelebritydoc.com. Plus, you can find me on all of the social media. If you can't figure it out, go to Jackie's page because I'm on Jacqueline's friend list as well. But I'm on pretty much all of the social media. My new thing is TikTok. So
Okay, I have to look for that. I have to look for that.
actually having fun with that one. And you can also Google me. I'm there.
So, what types of services do you provide for those who may not yet have hit that celebrity status?
I provide medical services. Right now, I'm just doing telemedicine. I also provide consultative services, counseling, and advisement, not just in health, but pretty much in all of the realms of life. And I don't know everything about everything, but I'm betting you that I know somebody who knows something about whatever it is you're needing. So if I can't provide it for you, I know somebody who can. The other thing that I'm doing right now is, again, starting on Tuesday, I have a course coming up, the Ultimate Time Management Blueprint. It's a 6-week course, an hour every Tuesday at 1 p.m., and it will help you learn how to reclaim your time, to have the time to do the things that you're passionate about. And one of the most important things for you to be passionate about is yourself. You are your best asset. You need to take care of yourself if you're going to be good for anybody else.
Very true, very true. And again, multiple pearls of wisdom from Dr. Cheryl, the celebrity doc. And I thank you so very much for being here on The Difference Makers because you make a difference to me. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. My absolute pleasure. And you make a difference to a lot of people.
Thank you.